Hello guys, this is Ray here once again from shortcrashcourse.com, and in today's video we're going to be talking about error establishing a database connection WordPress. So, have you encountered the issue whereby you were trying to access your WordPress website and you see this error glaring at you? Error establishing a database connection. So this site has been going well, or this site was very okay opening, then all of a sudden this popped up, error establishing a database connection. There are several reasons why this could happen. So as a learner trying to figure out where this particular problem could come from could be very daunting. Okay, so but do not panic, be rest assured that this is something that can easily be fixed. So now, where do we start from? We start from tracing the error message, establishing a database connection. So basically, WordPress works with database, MySQL and other, but very common MySQL. So now, this message tells you that WordPress has not been able to connect to the database due to one reason or the other. This could be because of the credentials are wrong, the database credentials are wrong that you provided, or maybe something has happened to the ones you provided on your server. Sometimes a site could be hacked and things tampered with, and the information that was there is no more there, maybe deleted or corrupted or something, and this error will come out. Or maybe changes in database, maybe through SQL injection or whatever, and the information that was there, it's no more there. And on the other hand, it could be your host, maybe the hosting information. Some hosting company use the host information as local host, while some use 127.0.0.1, while some people use their own custom host name, and some people use IP, and so on and so forth. So could be that too. And lastly, it could also be that maybe your server is so loaded that the database is not able to, carry any other load, maybe congestion from attack on your side, or maybe you're using a smaller plan and there's a lot of workload, consumption on your resources, specifically database, the hosting, and this could also show this error several ways. So now all we just need to do is to start checking them one by one. Okay, then that way it will be easier for us to know where the problem is coming from. You cannot handle this from the WordPress admin section because you cannot access that area at this point in time. So you have to deal with this from your hosting section. Then if you try everything you can try and you cannot have workaround, you can always contact your hosting company and tell them, oh, this is what's happening to my site. My site is down. A site like Namecheap, a hosting company like Namecheap are very helpful. They'll always be there to help you out. But there are some hosting company that if you reach out to them, they will tell you that this is out of the scope of their support, that you should go and get a technical person to help you fix this. But Namecheap, on the other hand, will always be there for you. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do now is I refresh once again to check if it's a catch, or you see sometimes you could just refresh the site and the site will come back. Sometimes this happens and it's not like a big deal. Then sometimes it happens that it's a big deal. So what do? We go to the hosting of this particular site. Okay, so I'm going to go here now to the hosting server of this particular site, where this site is hosted, and this is where it is hosted. This is the WordPress files that you can see here, everything, WP admin, WP content, WP includes, and so many other files. This is the WP structure, which you're going to learn further down in this short crash course. So now, error establishing database connection on WordPress. So now the first thing we're going to do is to open our wp-config to check if all the information there are correct. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. This is under cPanel. I click on edit and it loads. I say go ahead and edit this. Okay, so now these are the database credentials. The database name is ORA, this blah 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 blah, and the database user is this URL this, and this is the database password, and the database host is localhost, and the char set and the DB collet. So now the first thing I can observe here is that the name usually sometimes are always the same with the username. Uh, but in this case, I'm seeing a different username here and a different name. So something is missing here at this point. So probably I'm just going to add this particular part and complete it. Okay. So now it's the same thing. Let's go ahead and save the changes and then go back to the site and see if that will fix it. Voila, the site came back. So let's wait and refresh again. Time without number and see if we're going to have this issue again and again. So you see that actually fixed it. And let's go ahead and open a particular content and see if we're going to encounter that issue. So you see the content open very fine. So probably that was the problem. And now, like I said earlier, it could be so many other reasons. So let's try exploring other option or other reasons that could cause this. So let's go back to this place. This is what was the issue, the database name. So let's go ahead and maybe mess up with the database user by removing the whole of this and putting something else, FG. Then let's go ahead and save. Then let's come back to the site and see what happens to the site by so doing. Okay, so refresh. Okay, so now this is loading. Okay, so now let's go back there again and deal with something else. Okay, the changes were saved already. So now let's go ahead and deal with the password. Let's remove the password and put something else, df, and just save and see what we're going to get with the site. Let's refresh this. Okay, this could also be a cache, probably a cache version of the content. Okay, so here we are, error establishing database connection. So removing the password also breaks the site by showing that error message. But sometimes it's intermittent, it comes and it goes. So this could be very dangerous because you could assume that your site is up and running, but not knowing that the site is actually, down. And sometimes people are trying to access it, they are not going, or probably you're using a cache version of the site because if the entire cache is clear, definitely this site will show you error connecting database because you are not able, the site is not able to connect to the database with the right information because when any piece of this information is missing, WordPress itself cannot access the database. Okay, so another information that could be broken down that could help the site go down is the local host. If the local host is different from the normal host, maybe this company does not use local host, they use their own custom host, that could also cause a problem. Okay, so now let's go back here and assume that we're having this issue and we tried every other option and it wasn't working. The next thing you want to do will be probably to check your database PHP admin. So you just go to cpanel. From your cpanel, you load up your PHP admin, then you head down to database. So from the database, as you can see here, this is the database. You can also check the user credentials to ensure that those information are accurate. Okay, so this is under operation. Now under operation is where you can create tables and add new things and all. So now we have the structure here. So this is the structure of table on this particular website, or the tables that you have, like under the user tables here, that is where you see the user on this website. This is the username and this is the password that is sorted and you cannot really see it. Okay, so now let's assume that you are still encountering the issue. The next thing you want to do is to probably maybe repair the database. Sometimes the database could be corrupt and you just need to repair it. But for you to be able to repair the database, you have to include a single line of file on your wp-config by allowing repair to be possible. Okay, by allowing repair to be possible, because by default you're not going to have that as an option. Then once that is done, you'll be able to click on the repair button and your site is going to come out. So a few things you need to take a note on is that when your site shows that error in database connection, is not a big deal. Just calm down and follow through. The first thing you want to do is to check your wp-config database credential. Just go to the file manager, the file list of your WordPress installation directory, the structure. You see one of the files, wp-config.php. Click on it, open it. You see the configuration files, the database name, password, and all that. And the second thing you're going to check for your host information is still in that same file, wp-config. And the third thing you want to do is to repair your WordPress database. Probably it's corrupted or something. And to do that, you need to put this line of code under your wp-config. Define wp allow repair true. Okay. So once you do that, that's when you'll be able to. So let's proceed and see where that is going to be. So here you can just add that somewhere here. Okay, define the repair allow repair true. Okay, so now you can add the comment so that you know what that stands for. This is actually a comment in PHP. So just type don't change this if you're in that if in doubt. Okay, so now this one is going to be the database repair privilege. Keep something like that, or do not touch. So now this allows the function to repair the database to pop up, to show up from the C panel. Okay, so if you go to the C panel now, you'll be able to see the option to repair that database. So this is it under this thing. You go to this PHP menu, you click on, or you go to my databases. Okay, so you see different database here, and you could repair your database, and that also could fix. So repair, you select the database you want to fix, then you click repair, and that will also repair your database. Okay, so now the next thing that you want to do is to check if the database server is down, like I talked about in the initial start of this video. Then if all that do not work, please go ahead and contact your hosting company and tell them that this is the issue you're having. They will have more access, more technical knowledge to track down what is happening and tell you. At most, some companies, even though they will tell you that it's out of the scope of their job, at most will be able to still check where the problem is coming from and tell you. From there it will be easier for you to follow through and know what to do to fix it. But if you're not a technical person at all, reach out to your hosting company. If they are a good one, they will help you fix it, even after telling you what the problem is. Some will go ahead and tell you that it's out of the scope. You need to look for a technical person to fix that. And some will tell you that they can go as far as telling what the problem is, but are not authorized to go out into your code or your project and do anything. That you have to get a technical person to fix it for you. So guys, that'll be all for now in this video, error establishing a database connection on WordPress. So on the next video, we're going to explore something more advanced and show you furthermore. That'll be all for now in this video. I expect to see you in our next video. Bye for now.